Hello everyone, Kim McIntyre, Moai, and it is 11 o'clock a.m. and we are live. Hope everyone's having a good day. I'm actually having to burn some sage right now because there's a lot of energy movement. I've also had to call in help from an angel, the angel of peace, to help heal mental distress and bring new seeds of hope and positivity. Hope and positivity. Is it possible to have hope? Yes. Is it possible you've lost hope? Yes. Of course. Everything and anything is possible. So yeah, lots of energy dumping already. So whether you're viewing now or viewing in the future, know that this video will affect you. Help you to release, help you to learn, help you be open to possibilities. Possibility of healing, growth, balance. Of course, all those things are a constant journey, right? And the more you stay with your practice, I guess the better your journey becomes, maybe the easier, the more balanced, the more you learn from your journey. And know that the more interactive you are with these videos, the more you will get in these videos. I do also ask that when you see I'm gonna be live, share those posts with your friends. Let's grow this community. And yes, I'm asking for help, as are your friends. We all need a little help. But we also want to find our own internal support, our own internal balance, our own internal strength in order to do for ourselves. We don't always have to ask for help. We can figure it out on our own. Doesn't mean we can't ask for help. Nothing wrong with asking for help. But we also have to learn how to, again, accept the help that we're being offered. So today, in relation to finding my own strength, I will be moving my internet line so that I can have the internet come directly into this office. That way I can plug directly into it and have a Ethernet connection. That way my videos won't be going slower than my mouth, which I don't know about you, but it's irritating for me. But I'm working on it. Improving. And it seems like I may be a little slow right now, so my apologies. So again, the more interactive you are, the more you get out of the work, the more balanced you become, the less energy release, or the more energy release of what you don't need, and the more energy you bring in of what you do need. So we're going to read a little bit from No Ordinary Moments. This is from Dan Millman. Love his work. I love the teachings of his one of his teachers, Socrates, or Socrates, if you're a Bill and Ted's fan. And so as always, I will tap along with what I read, and tapping helps connect your unconscious self with your conscious self, helps balance the meridians, and when they balance the meridians, everything works better. Now, if you think about it, meridians are connected to emotions, chakras are connected to emotions, so if we're balancing the meridians, we could be therefore balancing the chakras, balancing the organs, balancing muscles, balancing your brain, balancing everything about you. That's why tapping is so very important, so very powerful. Okay. When we inhale, we take in not just oxygen, but life energy, light, love, happiness, and inspiration or spirit. Consciously focusing on this truth as we breathe increases the significance and conscious quality of our breath, a useful image for the basic self. And the basic self is our inner child. It's chakras 1, 2, and 3. It's where our fear hangs out. It's where our automatic responses happen. So if somebody cuts you off, you immediately go into rage. That's your basic self, out of control, out of balance. So this here is an example of the cleansing breath. For a few cycles of the breath, create a conscious ceremony of self-cleansing. I can't overstate the utility of this simple exercise. As you exhale fully, feel as if you're exhaling any negative states or feelings in your field of awareness. You may imagine this as a darker energy. If you have a worry, breathe it out. If you're sad, breathe it out. If you feel angry, breathe it out. As you inhale, feel that you take in light, healing energy, love, and spirit. Feel your body, especially any areas that may need healing or nourishment. Fill with tingling, sparkling, light, and love. Now here's a little story about one of his experiences in life. Sometimes when I remember to take a few cleansing breaths in response to a concern, it works well, but I can't seem to remember. It works so well that I can't seem to remember what I was upset about. And I've experienced that and also heard that from clients about tapping. I forgot what I was tapping about. That's a great sign. Good job. And there's always a catch. As simple as the practice of breathing to clear emotional obstructions appear, what would be simpler than paying attention to our inhalations and exhalations? One major problem exists in applying it. When we feel afraid, sad, or angry, we may not have the free attention to notice, yes, my breathing seems out of balance. I'll just take a moment to fix it. It's tough enough, just remember to count to 10. Another useful practice when dealing with charged emotions. And while we count, we breathe. One day, several years ago, I came home about 20 minutes late. I hadn't called to let Joy know, and it was the third day I'd come home later than I'd said I would. And I didn't have a good reason. I just spaced out, browsing through a bookstore. And we only had one car. And I promised I'd be home in time for Joy to go to an important appointment. And I had made her late. And instead of apologizing, I was both arrogant and defensive. I arrived home to find Joy quite angry. At that point, I made a major tactical error, like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. I suggested, Joy, now remember your breathing. And who has not done that, right? I'll leave her response to your imagination. When we feel upset, it may seem simple to remember to breathe evenly, but it isn't always easy. However, easy or not, at least we have the option. The possibility, right? The possibility. We have an option. We can choose to remain hostile, angry, sad, depressed, worried, overwhelmed, full of rage, or we can take that moment, count to 10, find our breath, exhale out the bad, inhale the good, the life, the love, the light, inhaling spirit, inhaling the energy from the angel of peace to help you heal your mental distress and bring new seeds of hope and positivity. And according to Anthony William, these angels are out there all the time just waiting for us to ask for help. And that's a kicker, asking for help and accepting the help. Can we do that? All right. So today, we're going to see how you respond to something. So I want you to check in. Notice how you're sitting in your chair, if you're sitting, how you're walking, how you're standing, whatever you're doing right now. Notice how you are. Notice that you might have just had a little tension rise up into your chest when you began noticing where you are. Are you in a good place? Do you feel balanced? Are you in chaos? Are you overwhelmed? Are you happy? These are all possibilities, right? So when we check in, we become conscious and aware of where we're at instead of just doing. We're doing with a purpose. So check in, see where you're at. Now I'm going to bring up a picture. And if you can see the picture, great. And if not, I will tell you what's on the picture. And humor me and write down how you changed when you see or hear about this picture. So we have wasps, a car accident, and a major explosion. And check in and notice if and how you feel different. What changed when you heard the word wasps, major car accident, and explosion? Did you notice a difference? And remember, we're trying to be consciously aware of the changes. That is what brings change. If we're not conscious, if we don't know where we're at in space, in time, in our mind, if we don't know that we're ungrounded, we don't have the awareness to not only make a change, but acknowledge what changes were made. Insecurity came up. Nice. Okay. So, what could you do about insecurity in relation to the pictures that came up? We can breathe out the bad, breathe in the good. We can tap. Highly recommend that. Acknowledging that you have insecurity about one, two, or all of those things, and possibly even more. What happens in a car crash? Well, we have loud sounds, we have burning tires, rubber smell, crashing glass, screaming, pain afterwards, ambulances blaring in the maybe blue and red lights. I mean, the list goes on and on. What was playing on the radio? What was going through your mind? All of those things have an effect on you after, say for instance, the car crash. And so when we tap, we're not just tapping on the incident, we're tapping on the entire timeline around that incident. Where were you before? Where were you going after? Or where were you headed to? Were you in a good state? Was it your fault? Do you blame yourself? Are you ashamed? Right? Shame. Big one. And know that when you clear these things, whatever they are, you will become a better driver, not so freaked out when you're around a wasp, whatever goes on with the explosion. Personally, never experienced an explosion in person. Seen it on TV. Been scared of a gunshot that I didn't know was going to happen. Right? A loud bang, even a loud bang from someone joking with a paper bag. All right. So now we're going to give you another picture. Now again, before we begin, notice where you're at. Am I grounded? Am I in my seat? Am I breathing effortlessly? Has my breathing changed since I'm still bringing in, thinking about the car crash, the bees, the explosion, the sounds, the screaming, the emotions that came along with it? And there's our wasps and our car crash and our explosion. And look at that. This is from a class I taught back in the day, and this is a word that came up, insecure. So now what changes when you see? Interesting. A heart made of roses. Children playing. A quiet stream. For me personally, I'm actually feeling more stress than with the prior picture. Maybe a inability to love ourselves, an inability to know how to love others because we can't love ourselves, and forgetting how to play, how to laugh like a child, how to have no worries. We've forgotten that. When was the last time you watched the sun go down? When was the last time you watched a child carelessly play without being told, you're gonna fall down, be careful, rah, 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 rah? When was the last time you sat next to a peaceful stream, babbling brook, or anything that didn't have an external input, a telephone, internet, somebody babbling, blah, 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 blah? Just because these are quote unquote positive pictures doesn't mean that we necessarily understand them. We might have guilt because we don't know how to love ourselves or others. We might have guilt because we've stopped playing. We've forgotten how. Maybe we never knew how. Anger, fear, rage, depression. All these words are coming up. Some other words that are coming up are rejection, hurt, and all those words we released from earlier on our exhale, we can replace it with the feeling of joy, thoughtfulness, exhaling the negative or the dark, inhaling the light. Cooperation. Nice. Nice word. Thank you, Kristen. Your involvement in this helps me. Put a smile on my face. I appreciate that. So what could we do in relation to cooperation? Breathing in the light, tapping. I'm not a wordsmith, so I will actually Google a word and tap while I read the definitions, all of them, until I understand them. I didn't know what happiness was. I found happiness. I posted a picture of it. I think that was in 2016. Yeah, I think 2016. Excuse me just a second. And it was me sitting in my old office, and I'd found happiness. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm happy all the time. I still get angry. I still have things I need to work on, but I can find the happiness again much easier. Sorry, my kitty decided it was time to clean himself, and it takes away my concentration. So I'll let him back in his room when I'm finished. Possibility. Everything and anything is possible, right? Is it possible to make a wrong turn and end up in that car accident? Yeah. Is it possible to make a right turn and miss the accident? Yeah. Is it possible that you got stuck in somebody else's mistake? Yeah. I mean, possibilities are endless. And as Yoda says in Empire, difficult to see. Always in motion is the force, right? Yes, there are people out there that can foresee the future, right? But what if that future isn't exactly how it was seen because one person made one change a little bit earlier? Possibilities. So how do you feel different than you did when we first started the session? You might feel better. You might feel worse. You might feel more grounded, more balanced. You might feel less. And while you check in and write that down, I'm going to go grab another book. More focus and concentration. Beautiful. That's awesome. Nice job, Kristen. Very nice. And isn't it, it's actually pretty easy, right? I mean, we haven't really done anything, and now you're more focused and you have more concentration. Now, even though we haven't, quote unquote, done anything, so much has changed. And that was shown to me in Minnesota. I was told to go see a Qigong master, and he has a healing facility in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I was up there working with some horses and some people. And so I made an appointment, and while I couldn't see the master, I worked, one of his disciples, I guess, worked with me, Master Gadu, ballerina and healer, and just the nicest face. It's basically what you would see a Qigong master looking like. He's got his gi on and his Japanese sandals, and it was very cool. But man, that guy didn't do anything to me, right? He touched a few spots and blah blah blah. But oh my gosh, so many things changed for me. And it showed me that we don't have to be doing and working so hard to make drastic changes. Knowing where to work, knowing what to do, allowing the work to work, right? Acknowledging where we're at, acknowledging where we'd like to be, and know that there's going to be a journey between the 2 points. It's not necessarily going to go from point A and wind up at point Z automatically. You have to go through the entire alphabet in order to get to Z. Cool. So this is from a medical medium, celery juice. And as always, we tap along with, this chapter bears witness to you. Your suffering is real. You don't deserve it. And your body hasn't let you down. With proper information, you can heal. Now we have all the information in the entire planet right at our fingertips, with this World Wide Web, spider web wrapping all around the world. And we can go to the web and ask for help and receive valuable information, but we have to put the help that we're being given into action. We have to accept the help that we're being given. We have to accept someone else has put in the time or had the experiences and written about their education and their experience in relation to that accident, injury, trauma, the healing that they went through, the input that they've been given from spirit. And we have to put it into action. And when we put it into action, we can heal. This chapter bears witness to you. Your suffering is real. You don't deserve it. And your body hasn't let you down. With the proper information, you can heal. Do you believe you can heal? Do you believe you can be better? If you don't, guess what? Tap. Tap and acknowledge the fact that you don't believe you can heal. Tap and acknowledge the fact that you can't be better, that you can't be balanced, that you can't have better relationships, that you can't be a better driver, that you can't, whatever. Input word here. Very nice. Okay. Well, I think we're done for today. So, when you see these lives come up, when you see the notice for what time they're going to come up, hey, send these to your friends. Put this information out there. Everybody deserves to heal. And as we chip away, we can end up with a Michelangelo, with a David, right? We can end up with a beautiful sculpture, a beautiful piece of artwork. We can be better people, better humans. Everything can change. So thank you very much. Enjoy your day.